Welcome everyone to another edition of Fridays with Frankie here on the Frankie and Ding Dong Show. I am Frankie Aberlon. As always, I am joined by my best friend and co-host, King Ding Dong.
Yeah, and welcome to the November 11th edition of Fridays with Frankie. Here we will be talking about a few different things. As you can see, we got some new toys on the table to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Before we get to that, we got some tournament recap from last weekend and another one of our exciting tournaments coming up this weekend. All sorts of Maine bowling news, all sorts of great stuff to talk about. So, Frankie, that's what we're doing. We're bringing the news to the Maine bowlers. So, what you thinking, Frankie? How do you want to start the show tonight?
Well, I think we're going to talk about something you actually shared on your Facebook page and something I saw afterwards is talking about Family Fun Bowling Center in Bangor. Speaking of getting right out of the gate with some, Maine bowling news, Family Fun Center. I used to run some missed tournaments up there. We've bowled up there many times for a state tournament and some other events.
As a matter of fact, the state opens there this year in April.
The Family Fun staff is working to get fully trained on a brand new Kegel Flex oil machine that they just got. So very cool. So upgrade to their center, and they hope to have the machine in full use in a couple of weeks. So let's go. That's awesome. Love it. That's great stuff.
Might be the only flex in the state, Frankie. As a matter of fact,
might be correct. Yeah.
So this is a huge upgrade for them. I mean, really huge. And of course, this machine goes far light years beyond what they had. They want to make sure that they're fully trained on it before they unleash it on the bowlers, if you will. But it's going to mean good things for anyone who's bowling in that area. Now, let's face it, Frankie. I got to give props to these people. They put in new lane beds, new approaches, new scoring system. Now they got a flex machine. They are really making sure that the bowling heritage in Bangor is there for many years to come. So you got to give big props to that. They're working on that center. I have a feeling that the next thing they're going to do is probably start to work on the back side of the center, update that a little bit. But man, they're going light years beyond what a lot of these centers are doing out there. So big props to you guys up there.
Big props,
Family Fun. If you're ever in the Bangor area, check them out, man. This is not like when we were kids, they had above ground ball returns and everything.
Right, absolutely.
So that building has come a long way. So
it is the place to be up there in Bangor, Maine, and the Mucci family. Obviously, Andy, Angelina, great people to deal with, great owners and everything. So pretty cool to see that. Like to see our centers in the state getting some upgrades and, pretty neat. That's good for the bowlers. And we definitely on the show here, when you bowlers start bowling on that, please give us some feedback on our weekly show that we give you people. So we definitely want to hear about it. We got some comments coming in. Charlie Unthank, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Charlie, we'll plan on seeing you Sunday at the Mulligan Stew tournament. So that would be pretty cool to see you.
Absolutely.
Sean Brown, who actually bowls up there, who's bowling in the tournament Sunday, whose nickname is Nobody. So Sean says, I can't wait to see how it changes the condition. Me too, because they, basically they've unlocked the toolbox here and all the tools are at their disposal. And I'll be interested to see how they can really get that tailored to what the lane surface and everything is up in Bangor and really to get something on the lanes pretty consistent for the bowlers now that they should be able to nail it pretty good every week. So pretty excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure they want to use this machine, Frankie. So it takes a lot for them to hold back and make sure they know what they're doing with it first.
For sure.
And they're really doing it. That's the right way to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Everyone wants to take out the new toy and just use it right off. But until you are able to unlock the full potential of that machine, you're better off making sure you're fully trained.
Yep. Get your staff all trained and everything, for sure.
I got to give big props. I've been working with them and a lot of other centers because we're getting ready to get the high school bowling season underway here.
Yep.
And so big thanks to all of the centers, for
Definitely.
who are participating in this and helping me out on that. So it's
for sure.
Looks to be a good season this year.
Absolutely. So congrats to the Bangor crew up there, and I think another center in the regional area on New Hampshire was Fun Spot. They just got a brand new Kegel oil machine.
Yes, they did.
So again, these centers, making some upgrades and getting their bowlers what they want, and making sure that the future is secure for good times for the next 10, 20 years. So pretty cool.
And I'm glad you mentioned Fun Spot. If you want a place where you can drive to relatively easily and have a blast, the fun is part of their name, and that's because they have a huge arcade. They have a huge amount of pinball machines if you're into that. They do have mini golf there. They have bingo there, like high stakes bingo. I don't know how high stakes, but like a grand or so, candle pin play as well as 10-pin play, skee ball. I think they even have go-karts during the summer or something like that. For sure. Great place to check out if you've never checked out Fun Spot. Weirs Beach, New Hampshire.
It is. It's a pretty cool area. So again, that covers, another center in the area. And anyone watching tonight, please feel free to comment. Please share this on your pages so we can get as many eyeballs in here as possible. We see all your comments, and we will make sure we try to respond to everything. It is on our YouTube page. It's on our Facebook Live page. It's on our Twitch feed. Everything going on right now, all through StreamYard. Thank you to the good folks at StreamYard. So I don't know what this is here. We got block user. So we had spam comment come in for the first time I've ever seen that. So.
Oh, cool.
All right, cool. So
so we're getting big enough to spam.
Getting big enough to spam. So that's good. But we did not put that on the screen. That's why we like controlling the comments before people see them on the screen.
Any good comments coming in? Don't be afraid to comment.
Share it.
And
comment.
Go ahead and check us out, like Frankie said, on our YouTube and our
share it up to your pages. We'll get more eyeballs in here, and who knows, maybe we can get some cool sponsors in here talking about everything. So this is the KWT CBT short recap. So what do you think? I mean, that tournament was interesting. 36-foot pattern. I'm going to put it up on the screen for everyone to take a quick look at. The oil pattern was right here, and it was kind of squashed those ratios so that the gutters were definitely a little over-underish.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't your typical short pattern where you just throw it to the gutter and watch it bounce. There's definitely some areas that got a little tricky, and that was in the cut scores. I think it was like -60 to get in. So, it was definitely not the easiest event. Again, one of the lower scoring events, actually. So, I made a run games 2 and 3 and had a hard game 1 and kind of got within 4 pins of the cut, and then had a tough game 4 on 15 to 16. So, still a top 24 finish for myself, but, definitely left some pins out there. But congrats to Tommy Guns for winning the tournament. He was unbelievable again. He defeated Larry King in the finals. So Larry bowled great. Larry was just on it all day. So really cool to see Larry bowl that well. So really.
What I thought was cool, Frankie, actually was that the first, like one of the first times we've had a lefty righty finals on one of our shows. It doesn't happen very often.
No, usually when I make the finals, but that's when I usually.
Yeah, but it's like you and Joe. Would be 2 lefties.
Yeah, it's cool to see a different lefty in there. So. I thought that a righty would win it just because I thought that as the lanes transitioned, they kind of got a little bit better for a little while on the right side.
A little bit more misfit, maybe.
Right. So, but Larry did a great job on the left, and Joe Ramsdell, who also made the cut. He bowled really well, but just so consistent. Both of those lefties can play it right up the lane, and we're just time and time again just hitting their spot. Larry even better. Larry was great all the way to the finals. So it was a really fun top 16 to watch, and so it was a pretty cool event. Thank you to Hungus for that event, and thank you for Brunswick Bowling, which we gave away another phenomenal ball, that Defender Hybrid.
Yeah,
that was great.
Absolutely,
and that was won by, was it Junior Haas?
I believe so.
Junior Haas won that. So, because Couch had won like a few months before, and he had made a joke about winning the ball, and Junior Haas wanted it, and then Junior Haas comes out and wins the ball. So
and that's another cool thing about our events. Even if you come out, you learn all day, and you don't really bowl that well, you can walk away with the ball for relatively cheap. We have those ball raffles every single.
Oh wait, no, was it Niner? Maybe it was Niner that won it.
Might have been
Niner. Yeah.
But either way,
it was pretty cool.
Thank you, Brunswick Bowling.
For Brunswick giving us, they take care of us. And speaking of that, you'll see a ball here, this Quantum Evo Hybrid, which is a ball that we're giving away at our Mulligan Stew on Sunday. We'll actually cover that in a few minutes when we get into the Mulligan Stew event. But just the short recap. Ding Dong, you bowled with me all day. It looked like you found something playing with a little bit bigger ball, actually closer to the gutter. And that seemed to work like into game 4,
It actually, so it was a little touchy around 5 board, which is where I thought it would play. But I just, I really wasn't feeling it, wasn't bowling very well. Towards game 4, I finally got right of that.
Yeah.
And once I was playing it pretty far in front of me, right up at the gutter, but laying it down maybe on 5 and going out to like 2 board. It looked really well, actually, like you said, just letting it walk in off the gutter there. But it took me too long to get there, unfortunately.
Right.
But that's the game.
That's bowling for you.
Before we leave the subject of this KWT, I got to give it up to Colonel Sanders, man. He just came off of that one ball brawl.
He was great.
One ball brawl win, and then leads the field in this one by like 70 pins, something like that, over a player, Trash Island, who was second.
He was amazing.
Big shout out to him.
Look at this. Our top 2, Purple Hammer. I mean, the Purple Hammer's going to play. Purple looked really good for me.
Yeah.
And Master Splinter had a 500 grit Purple Hammer that he had hit with a 500 pad at the beginning of the day, and that thing was shaping great for him. And look, he ran into kind of a tough pair on 5 and 6 against Tommy Guns, and just really, he was mowing him over for the first 2 rounds before that. So those purples, man, that urethane is one special ball. I'll tell you, that thing is fantastic.
It really is, And I know Splinter's probably upset that he lost, but when you lose to the winner of the tournament, it makes you feel not quite as bad, I guess.
For sure, no, absolutely. And so congratulations to everyone that performed well on Sunday, and obviously to Tommy Guns for winning the tournament. And thank you to Bowler Builders Pro Shop, giving free drilling for the raffle ball that was won, and all the balls.
Either by Niner or
Junior Haas, one of them. I'll have to ask Mrs. Brady because she's the one who takes all the photos of the winners.
Watching, why don't you comment in to tell us?
I think it was Niner. I'm pretty sure because Niner throws 14 pounds, and of course, Bowler Builders Pro Shops, being who they are, I believe allowed him to trade it in for a 14-pound ball. So
that's great.
That's
wonderful.
So we take care of we take care of our customers pretty well that way. So
yes, we do.
So thank you, Jimmy Clark, Bowler Builders, for giving us the free drilling for all the equipment. So that covers the CBT short. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of tonight. The Mulligan Stew coming up on Sunday. One of my favorite events.
Oh, absolutely.
Really love this one. And, anyone that's never bowled it before, you get 4 games of qualifying. We take the top 16 based on 64 entries, obviously. But during your 4 games of qualifying, you can take 1 frame over again. You have to call it after your first shot in that frame before you throw the spare. You can't just go out
miss the spare,
flag a 10 pin. And a lot of that's just because it would take a lot longer in the tournament to do it that way. You know what I mean? So if you have a shot you want back, you can do it once in your 4 games. You just call it, and it gets marked on the sheet.
Yeah, you have one of your opponents.
Because everyone's on one sheet. You just check it off, easy enough. And so you can take that one over, and, it's pretty wild and crazy. And the top 16 that make it, once you go to match play, the rules change a little bit, and that's where it gets a lot of fun. And so basically you can call a mulligan on your opponent in your match, which is great because we've had a title won the very first year of this tournament on a mulligan that was called on the very last shot.
The very last shot of the
tournament. That's exactly how we kind of wanted it to go, and it happened to play out that way.
We couldn't have scripted it better.
Couldn't have. No, for sure. So it's a lot of fun, and we look forward to this one every year. The bowlers look forward to it.
Yeah.
$60 entry to win $600 or more, depending on how we do with raffles and stuff like that. But for a $60 entry fee to make $600 and still doing a 1 in 4 cut, we take plenty of people in. If you make the cut, you're making money no matter what. So, pretty cool that we're able to do that. And
I don't know of a lot of other tournaments that have such a low entry combined with such a high payout ratio. Plus you still make more than what you paid in back.
Even if you finish even if you finish 16th, you're still going to make $20 more than your entry fee. So you get to bowl on a tough pattern all day. And speaking of tough patterns, let's put this one on the screen for everyone.
Yeah, this is the pattern for this Sunday, and I'll tell you right now, if you haven't signed up for this, I don't know what's wrong with you because you may never, ever in your life get a chance to bowl on something like this.
So it is our FDDS Death Miss is what we're calling it. It's basically the inverted flipped Christmas tree. So everyone knows the Christmas tree roll pattern for house shots, play wide open. You can throw it to the gutter and it hooks. You tug it, it holds. This pattern it's basically flipped. So the end of the pattern's at the beginning of the pattern's at the end. It's a reverse Christmas tree, and it goes just out just like this. And oil gets heavier down lane, lighter in the front. But we squash those ratios down to 1.66 to 1. This isn't some 12 to 1, 15 to 1 house pattern. It's a squashed ratio. It's reversed. It's a ski slope, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just call it a negative cut number is what I'm calling it. That's
absolutely. Yeah. I'm thinking we might have the lowest cut of the season so far with this pattern. Now, imagine you take your Christmas tree. Normally, you put it in the Christmas tree stand, put all the decorations on it. This time, we're basically taking that Christmas tree, we're hanging it from the ceiling, Frankie.
Yes, we are. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Hanging it from the ceiling and lighting it on fire, basically. So,
absolutely, yeah.
But still plenty of volume. I mean, what do we got? 25.7 mils, I think is what we ended up with. So
plenty of volume. 38-foot
pattern. So we added just enough to the fronts with that buff and everything so that it's not going to beat the lanes up. It's not like you're going to have to loft the ball 20 feet down the lane. You should be able to still get it into the heads, maybe a little bit of loft, but nothing that's going to damage the lane surface or anything by having it like completely dry boards in the front. So you know what I mean?
Well, here's the deal. So your standard house shot, normally you're at like 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1.
Right.
We're at 1.6 to 1.
Right.
So it's pretty fucking flat, Frankie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there is going to be plenty of head oil. Those of you guys that are thinking that you're going to have to loft it 20 feet, that's not going to be the case. No. It's just that the volume is normally tapered from front to back.
Correct.
So that way your ball slows down the correct way. This is tapered exactly the opposite of that. So your ball should speed up until it violently hits the end of that pattern at 38 feet.
Because there's no like buff zone at the end of the pattern. It's like end of the pattern, dry lane.
Boof. Yeah. 22 feet of hook. So it's plenty of hook still. So it all depends on what your core does.
Right.
So
getting the right matchup, getting the right surface. You know, I was talking with Buck Ripcord. He bowls on my draft team. We were talking about this the other night. And he goes, my strategy is going to be like, just go off my ball reaction in practice. He goes, and the problem is we only get 3 shots on each lane. And he's like, is there any way I can pay like an extra $10 for like 3 more shots on each lane? And that's what people are talking about. And that's what we want. So, geez, I'm probably we got
block comments coming in.
No, we have this stupid blocked user. So
yeah. So like, and that's exactly, you know, I've had a bunch of people this week, and since we put out the pattern, be like, what the hell am I going to do on this? You know, first off, I haven't bowled on it.
Right.
Yeah, we like came up with the idea, but we're not bowling on it. It's not like we put it down and we've tried it. So
exactly. No one's bowled on it. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. So
yeah, absolutely. So just like Bucky said, you know, roll a ball, kind of go off of what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, as we know in bowling, once you let it go, you're basically a cheerleader. So it's up to you to observe what your ball is doing, so that way you can make an informed decision on what you're going to do next.
Yeah, so this is going to be part of our FTDS pattern library, our signature series. That's expanding exponentially at this point. So every season we are adding probably 4 to 5 oil patterns to that. So we're going to, you know, at the end of this season, with some of the stuff we already have, we'll be almost in double digits for oil patterns. It'll be pretty cool. And you can, if you have an Envoy machine, you can definitely download those pretty easily to your machine.
Absolutely.
Just let us know if you want the oil patterns. We can get them to you. So it's really cool to work with Greg and really combine that with what we're doing. And I'm really looking forward already to designing the oil pattern for our next event that's coming up in January. So
yeah, absolutely.
Really, I can't wait to see everyone bowl on this Sunday. It's going to be, it's one of my favorite events. And now we're adding this wrinkle to it with the oil pattern being basically a reverse house shot. So with pretty freaking cool stuff. And don't forget, we'll be doing all the streaming on the FDDS channels, on our Facebook Live, our YouTube page, and our Twitch feed. You can catch it on any of those platforms, wherever you're at.
Yep.
If you're watching this tonight, you have family at home that want to watch the match play portion of the event, we'll be covering that for you. So pretty excited about that. Don't forget, 1 lane courtesy. That's it in the event. No one needs 2 lanes courtesy. So really that stuff. So, all right. So we just want to say thank you to Brunswick on the topic of that for bringing a sponsor and supplying a Brunswick Quantum Evo Hybrid for this event. That is a phenomenal piece of equipment. We couldn't ask for something better. Thank you so much for Brunswick for getting us this ball. We will be giving this ball away at the tournament on Sunday. You do not have to be bowling the tournament to get this ball.
No,
you can
not at
get
all.
some tickets. If you're just there watching and hanging out, you want to get yourself a free bowling ball, boom. And you can get it drove by Bowl Builders Pro Shop for free.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
I mean, not a free bowling ball,
Well,
but I mean, just for a few tickets, you can get that ball.
$5.
And I got to tell you right now, if you want to smell Hook, that ball smells like
you can
Hook.
smell it right now.
I'm getting high off that ball right now.
It is.
This ball features the new Dynamicore 2.
Yes.
That Brunswick has come out with. A little bit of update on Dynamicore. It's in just the Quantum Series bowling balls right now. It's a 2.510 RG with a 0.51 diff and a kind of a higher ASIM for Quantum.
Quantums, yeah.
It's the 0.018.
Oh, wow. So that's a good intermediate.
Yeah,
it's a good intermediate.
Quantum,
for sure. With those, take on the mushroom weight block, like the original Quantums.
Yep.
This is an asymmetric version of that mushroom weight block. So pretty cool.
And keep in mind, if you do not win one of these, you can still get these available from Bowl Builders Pro Shop. And the cool thing about the Quantums is they come in 14, 15, and 16, and they adjust the core in them. So that way the numbers say traditional to what the ball is designed to do between the 14, the 15, and the 16.
Yeah, and that's the great part of that technology. It's really cool stuff Brunswick's coming out with. And speaking of cool stuff Brunswick's coming out with, we're going to be covering some brand new releases that are upcoming with some really cool technology in it.
Absolutely.
Gutter Boy comes out and says, the lighting here reminds me of a cheap porn. I'm in. Well, that was, I said, Ding Dong, what can we do for lighting tonight? He goes, well, we got some cheap porn that we can try. And I was like, perfect. That's right. Let's go. So also thank you, Bowl Builders Pro Shops, being a sponsor, free drilling of the winning raffle ball. That's very, very kind of them.
Yeah.
And we are full for the tournament right now. So all 64 entries are full, but the waiting list is empty. And if anyone knows anything about the waiting list, any of our tournaments or any of the Carl's tournaments, get on the waiting list. And if you're not on the waiting list, show up Sunday morning and tell us you're there. Because if car breaks down on the way there, or they get sick that morning, or something happens, and who knows, they go on the naughty list for whatever reason, then you can just hop right into the tournament and bowl. It happens every tournament. We had a couple bowlers get into the Carl's tournament last month.
Yep.
Actually, last week, still this month.
Yeah.
But I mean, just show up at the tournament, even if you don't get in early. But this is the email if you want to secure your spot on the waiting list, and then when you show up at the event, you'll be locked into an earlier spot to get a spot if someone doesn't show up.
Absolutely.
So the Frankie and Ding Dong Show at gmail.com. Go ahead and email us tonight. Say, hey, waiting list, Mulligan Stew. You'll get a response back from us tonight, and we'll let you know where you're at, first, second, third on the waiting list or whatever. So, but we're pretty cool. We're full right now. Hopefully it stays that way. We always love having full fields for our events. Also, don't forget tournamentbowl.com, where all of the action will be every game. Mrs. Brady does a great job with the scores and getting that updated every game. It'll have we have not only the number to 200, we have the number to the tournament leader on there. We have the number to the cut on there. The high game pots will be shown on there. The brackets updated every game. So everything's right on tournamentbowl.com. A great company to work with. We really enjoy that partnership. So Gutter Boy says the naughty list. Yeah, there is a naughty list. And hey, you know what? We're near that time of year where we're checking our list and checking it twice. So
yeah, and I'll tell you right now, if you're on the fence about getting in on this tournament or any other sports shot tournament, here's the deal. Like, it's going to be tough, yes, but it's going to be tough for everyone out there.
Oh, everyone, yeah.
And usually, like, it doesn't matter how tough the pattern is. There's always somebody that it matches up to.
For sure.
And you never know if that's going to be you or not. But the only way to get better is to go out and try. You know, and for only a $60 entry, we are one of the lower entry fees.
And we do that on purpose. We do that on purpose. For sure.
So, if we're the stepping stone tournament to get you into serious bowling tournaments, you know, that's great because, again, you will learn a lot about yourself, your game, and you'll know where you need to actually, maybe put a little bit more effort, a little bit more work into your game, which is great, honestly, because it's introspective. You get to learn a lot about, again, yourself. Maybe the game of bowling entirely, something that you've never learned. It's always good to grow.
I agree. Gutter Boy says, sorry, I'm not going to make it. It really is one of your best. Well, you know what? We'll have more tournaments this year. There's more Carl's tournaments. Obviously, Gutter Boy, you're someone that we love having at all the tournaments. You're one of our favorite people at Bayside. We'd love it when you can join us in the booth as well. So
for sure.
Definitely, I look forward to getting you out there again with us. Absolutely. So
definitely.
All right, so we're going to move on. Just a reminder that you can get the Frankie Avalon and King Ding Dong signature ripped apparel jerseys. I've already had people ordering. I just had someone put in an order for the Frankie Zombie jersey on Wednesday, which was cool.
Yeah.
And and I have people already wanting to get the Red Skull jersey. I know RBF wanted to get a Red Skull jersey. So definitely check them out. Talk to Nathan LaJoy or Cedric LaJoy, really cool dudes to work with. And, I know Aaron talked to them on Wednesday. Bang, got an invoice that night. Paid it that morning, and jerseys in production. Let's go. So
awesome.
RippedApparel.com. So pretty cool. Thank you so much to Ripped Apparel for being a really cool jersey company to work with. Couch actually comes in and he said, best of luck to all participants. Absolutely. I agree. So, and let's see. So we're going to move on to the balls now.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right. We're going to start with this one right here. Radical Bigfoot Hybrid. Definitely one that I am super excited about.
Radical
Frankie coming at you. So we got some information for you on this ball. The original Bigfoot was a pearl.
Yeah.
And it had that textured pearl cover to it, kind of like what we saw in like stuff like the Conspiracy Theory and some other balls.
Yeah.
Great cover. Shot 300 with that ball last season on arguably the best 12 shot you've ever seen in your life. Being facetious.
You can find that on one of our pages, can't you?
Yeah, we live stream that, and I don't know, that's going to live in infamy for the rest of my life. So,
hey, 10 is 10, baby.
10 is 10. So, 2468 RG on this bad boy. We got an 053 diff on this one. That hybrid reactive cover, and the thing we're most excited about this is the HK22 hyperkinetic cover stock. Ding Dong, you know about this pretty well. You were down at the demo, and talked to some of the Brunswick people about it. And why don't you fill everyone in on basically what the HK22 is and how that's changing the game for Brunswick?
Yeah, the HK22 cover stock is a new base resin, and it actually mixes way better, and it allows a lot more translucency to the covers, which will show up definitely in the color. But not only that, the performance, because where it mixes so much better, and they're able to actually change the formulas of that base resin now to make sure that it actually, shiny balls that hook in the oil,
right.
Where we weren't able to really do that before. They're
Absolutely.
able to adjust those base resins and to actually change that. It was cool to see the process of, the old base resin and the new base resin and how they mix up side by side. This HK22 hyperkinetic, it mixes up. It looks just like Maine maple syrup, nice and clear and amber. So that way the colors look really nice in these balls.
Yep.
Of course, we're still able to put those additives in the balls. That's what we were doing.
Right.
We were not changing the base covers. We were just adding additives to stuff. Guess what? Now we can change the base covers.
Yep.
We can put those additives in it. And guess what? Riding Dirty Trifecta. This ball has the HK22 hyperkinetic base. It has additives, and it has mica flake. And I got to tell you, Frankie, you feel
this ball. It is like, if you remember some of the old school balls that were pretty awesome. I mean, stuff balls like, even if you go away from other brands, some of the Brunswick balls had the mica flake in it.
Yeah.
Like some of the zones, the proactive zones had that mica flake in it. The Storm Meteor was another one. The Lane 1 carbide bombs had them in it. There was a bunch of them that used it, and balls that were super successful with that type of stuff that was additive to the covers.
Yeah.
And I want to say that the Shifts series from Storm had those in them too. So there's been a lot of balls from other manufacturers over the years to use that mica flake technology. We can add that to the HK22, to that base resin formula, and it's just incredible. I am super excited to throw this ball. I think I'm actually going to drill a couple of these because I'm that excited about this ball. I love the original one, and I'm even more excited for this Bigfoot. So really excited for this ball.
Yeah, and those of you guys that have been around for a while, in the late 90s, early 2000s, you had those mica flake balls that you could actually feel it. Now, this isn't like the Tombstone, let's say.
Right, we're not talking about like super high aggressive particle balls here.
Right.
And that's why if you say the word particle, everyone's like, that's like a swear word in bowling nowadays, right? Because you think early roll die when you think particle, but that's not what we're talking about here. This is basically using this microflake formula into the balls to give it a little bit more traction in the oil, but combining that with the hybrids, with the pearls, so that even though you're getting traction, you're still getting enough length out of the ball so that it's not losing, it's storing a little bit of that kinetic energy, for better use down lane where it's better pin carry.
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. Yeah. I'm super excited to see you drill that one. I might actually, I'm on the
so
fence
that
with wanting
textured
to
cover
drill it.
that Gutter Boy just said, the microflake kept me in the pocket on the Thailand burn with the Damn Good Verge. Damn Good Verge uses that textured cover technology. So, and that's one of the best balls that we've seen in the last 5 years. That Damn Good Verge is unbelievable piece of equipment.
Arguably one of the best DV8 balls ever.
Yeah,
Maybe since the Nasty Rumor.
Since the Nasty Rumor, I would put it up there with like probably the top 3 is like the Vandal, Nasty Rumor, and I would say the Damn Good Verge. Those are your. Speaking of riding dirty trifectas,
above the Vandal.
I'd say, I'm just saying not in any particular order, but like in my brain, even if you want to throw like maybe the original Reckless or the original Hellraiser, one of those old school DV8s from back in the day. But I mean, for that anything that we're putting out that has that in the cover stock, it's just phenomenal when you can add that to it. So
so that
the texture
is
solid, textured pearls.
That thing's
really, really cool. So anyways, radicalbowling.com, you can get all the information on the Bigfoot right there. So really excited. Like I said, I'm drilling a couple of these bad boys. I'm going to drill one with the same layout as the Bigfoot that I have now, which is the Pearl, I drilled that one 5x40. And I think I'm going to drill a pin down version of these, basically the same layout as my GB4 Pearl, which is a layout I liked a lot. I think I'm going to use like a 4 1/4 by like 60 or 65. I'd have to double check the angles on that one, but that'll give me, a nice stronger pin down ball, something a little longer pin up kind of to compare. So drill a couple of those and see what happens. I mean, I'm super pumped for it. And me with symmetrics to begin with. So and this is it's a high differential, symmetric. So
you have those protrusions in it as well. So and if you drill into one of those, you're definitely going to take the differential and shoot it through the roof.
Absolutely.
If you drill in between them, you can actually smooth out the reaction with it. So very versatile ball.
It is.
With that cover, I think this is going to be a really like a benchmark ball for a lot of bowlers. Yeah. Probably a house shot killer for a lot of bowlers.
I think so. Yeah.
Unless you're, one of those two-handers with the big revs, or even one-hander Rudy revs type of bowler. I think this is going to help you get that traction on a house shot that you need, and still go through the pins.
And the colors pop. That HK22, like you see it in person, it is like bam. This thing is like just glowing at you. It's a really, really cool technology we have in that now.
Yeah, and that's also in the Defender Hybrid.
Yep.
Really pretty ball.
That one might be the prettiest ball in the market.
Yeah, that Innovator is very hot, though, too.
The Innovator is, that's a really nice looking ball. That's another one.
Yeah, so, and speaking of those, I know we have a banner for this. We do have in stock right now. We have Defender Hybrids. We have Innovators in stock.
Top speeds.
We have top speeds. Now
that attacks. The top speed is, I mean, I know you've been really eyeballing that one hard. I'd be shocked if you don't drill one of those.
I haven't had time, Frankie. It's pretty much come down to that. I haven't had time to throw holes in one yet. Right. You and I talked about me maybe updating grip changes a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and if we do that, I'm definitely going to be drilling up a top speed.
Sure.
This one that we're going to talk about soon, and a couple others. But anyways, so top speeds. What was the fourth ball that we had?
The 3D offset attack.
Yes, I'm surprised we still have some of those in stock.
There was we had a guy last night that when I was there at Bayside, the offset attack in his hand. So we can get him in our customers' hands.
Yeah, maybe we might only have a couple left. And I'll tell you right now, if you want it before the release date, get a hold of us. We have them in stock right now.
We'll take care of our good customers.
Bowl Builders Pro Shop, we will do that for you. Absolutely. We're always taking care of you guys.
Yes.
And we're going to include the cost of your grips in with the
everything's
the price of the ball.
Yep.
We will be adding tax. And that's it. Yep. And
company's got to get their share.
If you want one of those fake receipts, that tells your wife what you told her you paid, I'll include that for nothing.
Right. Yeah. Like what you really paid, and then what the wife or the husband thought you think you paid.
Yeah. So I'll whatever.
Right.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah. So. All right. So let's move on to one that you're super excited about. I've done enough talking about this. You, my friend, the TrackMan yourself.
Yes.
The sensor. I mean, literally, can you hear that? Can hear that. I mean, it is the tackiness of this thing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Track sensor, symmetric ball.
Symmetric pearl. Yep.
Symmetric pearl.
Yep.
Ding Dong, why don't you give us the skinny on that? I gave everyone the skinny on the Bigfoot. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about the sensor.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think that the cover was going to be as tacky, but
you can hear it.
That.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
She's
now,
a tacky one.
The reason why I was so excited about this ball is because you've had a couple low diff stuff come out in the Radical lineup. I haven't had anything in the lower diff come out in track for a while, so I was happy to see this one come out. It's only a 34 diff symmetric.
Yep.
So it's not an ASIM. It
Right.
is a sim.
Yep.
34 diff. But it's got a lower RG as well. It's 2.490. So, it's on the lower end of the diff range.
Yep.
So it's not something like in the, 5.2, 5.3 with that low of a diff. You have a low diff, lower RG bowling ball. So that's, I'm really excited to drill this thing up.
Yeah.
Control the dryer boards.
Yep.
I'm excited to try it out, even maybe on the house shot, step into the dirt.
I was gonna say, if you want to be able to step into the kitty litter on the house shot, something like this is definitely going to be something you're going to want to put in your hand, because that will definitely kind of allow you to play closer to that friction line and just watch it just bounce. Bounce.
I plan on eating some meat pins with this ball, I'll tell you right now, Frankie. And, it's partially purple. It's got this purple. And
we know how it is with purple balls, man. Purple balls are awesome. Anything with purple.
Purple ball's been my favorite for like 20 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can hear the hook. It just wants to.
Dude, for real.
It wants to light up. So I'm going to actually take this and replace one of my favorite balls of all time, my Web Tour Hybrid.
Yeah, you love that ball. That Web Tour Hybrid's a favorite of yours. For sure.
This one has a tiny bit more differential on it, but it has a little bit higher RG as well. So I'm going to drill it fairly similar to my Web Tour Hybrid. I can't wait to see if it shapes. I assume it's going to shape pretty much the same, really straight, saving a lot of energy. Man, this sensor, I'll tell you right now, you guys that are bowling on the drier conditions, you guys that have the higher rev rates, you two-handers, you are going to love this piece. I can't wait to get some holes in it so I can show you guys how it performs. Track sensor.
Yep.
It's got the DR6 pearl, and I got to tell you, you can tell this thing's going to respond to the dry boards just nicely. Man, I'm super
Pretty
excited
pumped
for it.
Yeah, I think it's
super
gonna be great to get in your hand, and you're going with basically a similar layout, maybe a little hair longer pin
to make up that differential.
Makes sense. And than you did with that Web Tour Hybrid. So pretty excited to see you throw that ball. The colors are great. It kind of reminds me of the old school Total Envy, for anyone that remembers the Ebonite Total Envy. It's a color scheme that's really similar to that. Nick D'Alfonso III says, really nice to get hook and line with polish. There was a time when it seemed that low grit was the only way to get balls to hook. That's a thing of the past with Brunswick new cover stock formulas. 100% agree with you. When you take those base resins and we get those additives in there, and just the stuff we're able to do right now, when we talk with some of the people, the engineers and stuff like that, it is pretty cool what's coming out of the factory and the stuff that's coming in the future that I'm pretty excited about too. You know what I mean? Not just what we're seeing right now. Just stuff like this. I mean, I cannot wait to get holes in this ball. Really excited for it. Gutter Boy says, I have so many active balls right now. I'm in there every day for new grips. Yeah, well, that happens. You throw a lot of practice games, you bowl a lot of league sessions, you need new grips. So
yeah, I mean, they are rubber. They do wear out. And I'll tell you right now, you can take your ball, you put it through the, bake it in the rejuvenator.
Sure.
Have Frankie spin it up for you, give it a new cover, throw some new grips in there, and it's going to bring it back to life, almost like a new ball for you. At least going to extend that ball at least another half year to year for you.
Yeah.
So some balls take it better than others. I'm interested to see this Bigfoot when you do the cover on that, how that comes out, because man, you can feel.
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel the flake. I mean, it's hashtag feel the flake. We should get that trending. That'd be great. Totally. So you know what? One more thing I'd like for us to touch on. How about our league recap this week? Frankie and Ding Dong, both over 700.
Yeah, that was fun.
Night.
Yeah, nice.
That was a fun night. So pretty cool. So
did we actually take any points? Oh, I heard we got kind of hit on game 2? We got
just game 2. But we did good. 1 and 3. We took total. I think we did something like 17 and 8, something like that. So we had a good night. So you were high on the team, 723. I was 709. I used the rattler most of the night. Had whacked that with a 3000 pad real quick before league, and I switched to the Purple Hammer Reactive from midway through game 3. And, pretty consistent night. I think I was 255 and a pair of 227s. So pretty happy with that. Not under average, which always helps. So, and I mean, you were using that Paragon, the hybrid all night, right? Yeah. It was phenomenal. You were throwing it great.
Yeah, I used Paragon Hybrid all night because I tried a couple shots with my Legion Solid in practice, but it read too close to me. I definitely needed something to get through the heads a little bit cleaner. We were, bowling on whatever house shot is out there, and it seemed like I'm on the other side of the lane than Frankie.
Right.
I was experiencing a lot more friction than I had wanted to see. And the cleanest ball I had with me was that Paragon Hybrid, so I used it. I think towards the end of game 3, I had a Black Widow Ghost out in the car that I probably could have switched to, but it was close enough to the end of the game where QDD's just like make that one work.
That was so funny.
I'm not going
to the car.
Make it work. To the car for the Ghost. Make it work. Frankie was kind of funny, like, "Oh, thanks a lot, coach."
Right? Absolutely, for sure.
But I still snuck away with a double to finish that game. With that ball, even though I kind of forced it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think so. The Ghost hair cleaner than the Paragon Hybrid probably would have looked a little bit better. Would have been easier maybe to strike with. But hey, whatever.
I thought that I was placing bets on the head pin that kept falling on lane 7. That first game was, and that kind of put us behind and kind of killed the momentum a little bit. But
well, both of us
got it fixed.
Front 7
we did. Yeah, that was cool. That was fun. I was like, man, we
had to wait half an hour.
So. But it was fine. We had a good night, so it was fun. It's good to throw strikes once in a while. We bought a lot of sports stuff, so getting on the house shots and just getting out there and throwing some strikes is fun too once in a while. So, a little bit of both is not a bad thing. So,
shut up to Daddy O.
Daddy O, 255 his last game.
Yeah, the front 7
last game.
Yeah,
third game. Yeah, using a Black Widow 2.0 actually. So. So that's basically going to wrap it up tonight, folks. We want to thank everyone for coming in and watching. And we're just going to chill, have a little more coffee tonight, hang out with the family, have a good time. We suggest everyone hang out with their family and have some fun too. Don't forget the tournament on Sunday. Check in 8 o'clock a.m. Tournament bowling at 9. $60 cash on site. We will have a $10 high game pot, $5 brackets, $5 chances for the Quantum Evo Hybrid Bowling Ball, courtesy of Brunswick Bowling. Thank you to Bowl Builders Pro Shops for being a sponsor for the event once again with free drilling of the equipment. And pretty excited to put some holes in this. If I get some time tomorrow, I might get these punched up before the tournament on Sunday. God knows if I'll use them or not. It's hard to say what you're going to use on that reverse death miss oil pattern that we're putting out. But it should be fun. We don't have any rules against balls that aren't released yet because, well, we don't care.
We don't really have rules against balls.
Our
only real rule is the one ball brawl. You have to pick
the ball before you bowl. Right. Other than that, it's
but we'll let you resurface it every shot if you wanted.
That's the one cool thing about one ball brawl. And you know what? I took advantage of that to make a top 4 run in that tournament. So I was like 3,000 pad. Here we go.
Dude, it changed everything.
It changed everything.
And that's the thing, these people who are like, man, one ball and you have to use that on this tough shot all day long. Yeah, but if you can bring a ball that you can manipulate the surface pretty easily, that's a pretty all-round ball. You can make that ball into several different balls.
Right.
Now, not only can you change the surface all the way down to like 180 or bring it all the way up to 4,000, but you can do combinations. If you go 500, 2,000, you can make it look different than just going all the way up to 2,000. So lots of different options, even though you only had one ball. Mulligan Stew, making it hard enough so that way it should bring the field together and give anyone a chance to win. It's going to be a lot of fun either way. Like Frankie has said, one of the favorite things he's ever told me: you either win or you learn.
You're the winner, you learn.
That the best way to go out there and learn and to get better is to try. You got to try and to bowl in this hard stuff. it will make you a better bowler faster. I guarantee.
So before we get off the air, we had a question come in, and I definitely want to cover this. Gutter Boy says, "Tell me about the Defender Hybrid a bit more. Getting it punched up this week. It's one of our HK22 balls. We definitely covered that. It's a 1500 grit with factory compound on it. So it basically has that nice little shine to it. It definitely pops to the eye. 247 RG, so a little bit lower RG ball. It's got a 054 diff, so pretty
huge diff.
Big diff on that ball. Definitely gonna be a big flaring piece for you. So don't be afraid. I mean, if you want it to go longer, make sure you go a longer pin on that ball. It'll definitely give you as much back end as you want. 015, for the intermediate diff, which is a decent amount of intermediate diff, not quite as much as like the Evo Hybrid, right? That's an 018.
That was 018, yeah.
But 015 still pretty good amount of intermediate diff in the ball. So, but that lower RG, even though you got that nice the hybrid cover stock on that ball, it's still going to roar through the back of the lane. It's going to open up those flare rings and really get you some good motion. You can move into the oil and still see the ball shape, which is, the great thing about our Pearl and hybrids with the additives in them. Definitely still gives you that kind of motion you're looking for. Yeah. It's not going to be something too sensitive to the oil. But I think you're really going to enjoy that ball, Gutter Boy, because you like to kind of get in and kind of wield a little bit and bang on it. And I think you're going to be able to play to your strength, which is kind of get in, get around the ball, and just watch it just roll. I think you're going to love it.
Yeah, I used one down at the demo, and it was a pretty exciting ball because unlike like the Paragon Hybrid that really it reads really quick and off the spot, that Defender Hybrid, it was nice and smooth off the spot, but still retained plenty to go through the pins. It was just a different read through the oil that the Paragon Hybrid just doesn't have. The Paragon Hybrid will skid, see the friction, and then go off.
Right.
Where that HK22 that's in the Defender Hybrid, you can see it start to actually find a little bit of traction in the oil.
I agree with that.
Giving it a much smoother roll, and it seemed to even out the lane a little bit, especially on the cliff. Yeah. It seemed to even that out a little bit better just because it was able to see a little bit of roll even in the oil. It wasn't just slide in the oil and then see the friction and heat up. And this one is actually seeing a little bit of roll in the oil. It had a great reaction, and man through the pins, that thing was dirty.
Yeah, and the protrusions on that Portal X core on this ball it's pretty pronounced, and it definitely, that's what gives it that that bigger differential to definitely help you out. And he's like Gutter Boy says, I'm a huge night flare, quick spool guy, drill it long and go. Absolutely, you can definitely get away with longer pin on this ball, cheat it longer, and it's still going to absolutely just roar. So thank you for the question. We really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. We definitely always appreciate you guys. And don't forget Mulligan Stew Sunday. Tune in after qualifying right around 1:30. We'll have the championship finals for you on the Frankie and Ding Dong show page.
Come down and hang out with us.
Come down and hang out. Absolutely. Hey, and the full menu is back at Bayside, by the way. They brought the taco truck menu inside. Great food, great drinks. Brunch is back. That's what I'm super excited about. So definitely check that out. Get into Bayside, get some good food in you. Check out the tournament, hang out. And,
bring
hang out on the booth with us.
You might be able to get into the tournament.
Might get into the tournament. We had someone actually come in already on the waiting list. So we got someone just emailed while we were during the show. So perfect. Get on the waiting list. If not, just show up tournament day. You might get in anyway. So thank you for tuning in tonight for King Ding Dong. I am Frankie Avalon. We really appreciate you guys checking out everything, and we'll see you Sunday at the Mulligan Stew event.